And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. No one on the Zoom, but it's okay because we got Yidden here. We got Katie. We got the Rebson.
Oh, very important.
We got Ziggity Arizalman in the house. Actually, outside the house. It's a good deal. It's like, here's your Gemara.
Sit wherever you so desire. Sit anywhere and ignore the polygon. There you go.
All right, so. Rivka.
Yeah. After
share, I would love to get one of those tabs. We gotta find one of those tabs. But we know where we are now. We're just gonna do a quick review of the Mishnah from yesterday. Appreciate that. Of course, Rabbi. We are holding on Nun Beis Amud Beis at the Mishnah, 4 lines down from the long lines. Rivka, do we have that other Gemara? Is it in there?
I put 2 Gemaras.
You want to sit there, Katie, to look on in the art scroll? Oh, DBJ, Shalom Aleichem.
Aleichem Shalom, Rabbi.
Aleichem Shalom, Rabbi. All right. So, I think it's in there. I think there's another Gemara in there.
I thought you had 2 Gemaras.
Shalosh, babe.
You want me to look?
It's in that blue thing.
This Gemara is in English.
Yeah, it's art scroll. We let the ladies look at the art scroll. Did I possibly leave one at Harry's last night? Whatever. Without further ado. Oved Kochavim Mevatel Avodah Kochavim Shalo V'Shel Chavero. So an idolater can cancel. We're just reviewing the Mishnah. DVJ looking comfortable at the kotel. Good, be comfortable. Adraba.
Very good.
Very good.
What's up, Bruno?
So an idolater can cancel his idolatry. Vishel Chavero and of his friends. The Israel ain mevatel avodas kochavim shel ovei kochavim. So an Israelite cannot cancel the idolatry. It's very interesting. You might not learn this in your conservative yeshiva, but there actually is a spiritual power that a non-Jew has that a Jew doesn't have.
Really?
Yeah, it's very surprising, and that's the ability to cancel an idol.
Wow.
He just has to break off like an ear or a nose, and then it's canceled. And then the rest of the idol is not forbidden to get benefit from. But the second the Israelite touches it,
Like if he destroys the idol,
yeah,
he can cancel their idolatry.
yeah. But a Jew can't. Jew takes off the nose, it's still an idol.
We need to teach this to the
Right?
Gentiles.
Yeah,
We need to smash some things. around
exactly. We got to bring them to the Bohemian Grove, smash
Yes.
up that owl.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they have a mission.
Yeah. And also they can bring a korban, a sacrifice, an animal sacrifice anywhere they want. A Jew, an Israelite has to do it in the temple. In that specific place in Jerusalem.
So a non-Jew is allowed to make a sacrifice?
Anywhere. You can do it in Kansas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe Hashem's just happy that they want to follow his laws even though they don't have to.
Right. Listen, like they can do it. Zig, you hear this? Yeah. That a non-Jew we're talking about the 2 spiritual powers that a non-Jew has that a Jew doesn't have.
To bring
Something which is a very clippable content idea. If like anyone's like clipping these things, like this idea is moradic and it's never taught in yeshiva. That there are 2 spiritual powers that we know of that a non-Jew has that a Jew doesn't have. He can bring a korban anywhere in the world to Hashem, not to idolatry, but to Hashem.
And what's the next one?
And the other one is that he can cancel existent idolatry, whereas an Israelite cannot cancel it. Can't, right? So you know that big our favorite idolatry to talk about smashing is the big owl in Bohemian Grove, right? So they can if they like knock off like an ear or chip a little bit part out of his belly, so the rest of the material for that idol is now usable even for an Israelite. We can use it to make like something like a chair, but a Jew can't cancel it. An Israelite can't cancel it. Okay, I just think that's very important and worth noting. Mevatel avodas golchavim, mevatel meshamshel. If you are mevatel the avodas golchavim, you also were mevatel. You know what mevatel means? It's to cancel, right? Shlig knows that bittul. Shlig loves chasidus, so he loves like the concept. I also love this concept. And we're just mevatel ourselves to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Like we cancel. We cancel the ego. We say, hey ego, you canceled. You know? See you Josh Tuesday, ego or mevatel, the ego to the Eibishter, to the Ribono Shalom, to the big G upstairs. Or actually he's everywhere. That's how they teach it. That like, oh yeah, God's in the heavens.
So he is upstairs.
No, that's how they teach it. But
No,
they're
he
wrong.
is.
No, he's not. He's everywhere.
Upstairs is a part of everything.
Well, no, but he's not confined
only
to being in
upstairs.
heaven. Everything in this world is Eibishter. There is no part of this world that is separate from the Borei Olam. Shalom Aleichem Ush and Shalom Aleichem Eichi.
Shalom Aleichem.
I just saw that you guys
I
are
like.
in.
What is that? What kind of yarmulke is that?
This is my wartime couple.
Oh, it's the capo. From the back, it looks like one of those yarmulkes from the yeshivas in Eastern Europe.
Listen, it might as well be, but I don't know if they use green.
For
Those for
tzaddikim
Sam
like you,
Sofer.
the Rogachover used green. The
The
Rogachover.
Rogachover would tie his hair to the rafters so that if he would fall asleep while he was learning, boom, he would immediately wake up. This
Okay,
is
beautiful. Keep me posted.
This is the Misas. Okay. But if you only cancel the vessel, if you cancel the entire idol, then also the vessel that's used for the service of this idol is canceled. If you only cancel the vessels, so the idol cancel then you can use the vessels, but you can't use the idol is still an idol, and so you can't use the material of that idol for any use, right? It's called Asur Behana, forbidden to enjoy or to benefit from. Okay. So we saw the Rashis in the Mishnah. There was only one Rashi that is on the part of the Mishnah that says that an Israelite cannot be mevatel the idol of an idolatry, right? The Oved Golchavim posel Eloho Yalfina. We learned that an idolater can be mevatel his idol, but not Israel, but not an Israelite. The kosher in the Israel ain't mevatel avodas golchavim the Israel, right? The Mishnah was not clear. Can an Israelite cancel an idol of an Israelite? So Rashi is saying no. A fortiori, kal v'chomer. All the more so if he can't cancel an idolater's idol, all the more so he cannot cancel an Israelite's idol, which is more stringent. You know. Okay. Because the idol of an Israelite never can be canceled, because it says that if a Jew has an idol, you put it in a secret place, v'sham v'seiser, right? You put it in you have to like hide it away. You can never use it ever again. Yes.
What's Misham Sheha? Did we get to that part?
Misham Shea is its kalim, is the vessels. Anything that's used for its for its things, right? Let's say you have an idol, let's say you have a molech, and so they use also for this idol they also use the pot that they like or the knife that they slaughter the kids with, and the vessel that they capture the blood of the kids, the fresh adrenochrome, and then like the different cups that they give to everyone to drink. This is things that are happening now. These are not just things that existed in the time of the Roman Empire 2,000 years ago, because the Roman Empire is still around today. We know, just parading around as the Roman Catholics, even though Catholic is nothing to do with Christianity. So, and they're still around. We know that there was a temple on Epstein's Island. We know that these people are from. They want us to not be from, but we know that these pagans that are at the higher elite archies of control, of ostensible human control. We know the Eibishter is in control of the world, and that's why we know that we're going to win. But these pagans, they worship Satan. That's the whole idea of idolatry. And so that's who we're fighting against, basically. And that was the Holocaust, that was 9/11, that was the war in Gaza, that was the pandemic.
I think there's a difference.
Yeah.
I think that it's more like the people with the Epstein Islands and all of this, these are like representative Esau.
Well, Rome is Esau, right?
But then I think that the Middle East and Iran and all of this is more representative
Ishmael,
or even not even Ishmael, but more Cain.
Cain. I heard that Cain was China.
Yeah.
But you're asking a very good question. And the truth is that we are hard at work trying to figure out what exactly is Ishmael's Yishmael's role in the end of days.
But it has to be Cain, because Cain is connected to Gog
Cain
and
is
Magog.
connected to Gog and Magog.
And this is the Shura and everything we studied during Sukkot. So it has to be connected to Cain.
Do you have perhaps are you saying this based on any source?
Yes, lots of research over the past few days.
Yo, send it over. Send it over. We're trying to figure out this stuff.
I know.
Huge.
Somehow Cain is connected to Gog and Magog.
Okay, we have to figure out what is Gog and Magog. What is Cain's
Oh,
connection?
I have my notes with me.
It's okay. How about
do them
we
later.
talk about this after class?
Okay.
I'll add you to the yeshiva group, and then you can send screenshots, and we can really try to hammer this out.
Get extra credit.
Because there's two evil forces against Israel. It's like what you said.
It's the Shibud, or the Roman Empire, Esav, and you're saying Cain. That's a new one. I know that Harry knows a little bit about Cain and China. I don't know. I think I've heard it from him. He's really holding in this stuff. Yeah, H, you got
China?
China, yeah. Cain, China.
Cain?
Yeah, like Cain.
Uh-huh.
Cain, China. I heard, but I don't have any raya for
It
that.
makes sense if he's connected to Gog and Magog, because Gog and Magog, prophecy said something about these people having small eyes and this smashed face. So it has to be Chinese.
I hear you, but that could really be any Asian.
Yeah.
But we have to look into it, and we have to see what exactly is going on, because really when we're talking about the Shibud in the Roman Empire, we always have this question in the back of our heads: what exactly is China? To what extent is China? I don't love to get into the specific countries, because I hold that every country in the UN is just under the Vatican with their flat Earth logo. But I don't want to get too much into that right now, because we are learning Gemara. However, sometimes we get into tangents, and it's always great when when a new person in Shir is oh, I've actually been studying the connection of Cain to the whole sugya, and so that's excellent. And we will be getting those notes, and we will be continuously steiging them.
Carefully.
Oh, very carefully, every word in the Rashi. So okay, so we see the Gemara. Mazni, now anywhere. Mazni lay Rebbe the Rebbe Shimon Beret, right? Or Rebbe the Rebbe Shimon, son of Rebbe, right? So Rebbe is teaching to his son. Very classic. Rebbe is teaching to his son. Oved kochavim mevatel avodas kochavim shelo v'shel chavero. He says the idolater can be mevatel. He can cancel his idolatry and also his friend's idolatry, right? This guy happens to worship Molech, but his friend worships Baal Peor, so he can go over and worship and cancel his friend's Baal Peor. Or no, it says Chavero. He can only he's an expert in Molech. He can only cancel his Molech and his friend's Molech, and right. But if he doesn't know about Baal Peor, maybe he can't cancel it. We saw something like that earlier in the Masechta. So we got to Shalo and Shel Chavero. We got to medayek on the word Chavero. Amar Le Rebbe, he says to his dad, Rebbe, Shanizla to be when you were younger, you thought it's the same thing. Israel is an idolater can even cancel the idolatry of an Israelite. So so he responds to his son. He says, "The Israel miko mevatel." He's like, "Really? Of an Israelite, who can be mevatel?" The hal b'sham is there because if it doesn't say that you put it in this hidden place, aka b'sham b'seister, that it doesn't have batala olamas, you can never cancel it. Amar Avila Beret the Rebbe. So then another one of Rebbe's children, right? Oh no, sorry, the son of Rebbe Wells. You saw it was a weird thing. DVJ is like, oh, you mean David Wells who threw a perfect game on no sleeve, high on LSD? I said no, it's his dad, Rabbi Wells. Lo nitzricha sheyesh ba shutvos. So he says, no, we need to teach this that he can cancel the idolatry of an Israelite if the Israelite has, like, if the Israelite and the idolater are sharing, right? Kind of like, I don't know, George Soros, or say like Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton are sharing an idol. So there, an idolater will be able to mevatel it. Because it's not totally the Israelites. Okay, that's now. Usually we learn the Gemara, and we're in the Gemara, and the Rashi, and the Rashi. Now we're doing Chazara on what we saw yesterday. We're doing review, and so we're going to go to Rashi's a little bit in like we're going to learn the Gemara, but this is the second time seeing the Gemara, so now we're going to see what Rashi's saying about the Gemara. You know Rashi? You know what Gemara is? You know what it looks like? This is the Gemara. This is the Rashi on the inside. You know what's on the outside?
Apartment?
Ooh, close. Tosfos.
What is Shutfus feel down?
Shutfus is that it's a shutaf, right? The big question about this war is: was Israel, was the country, the Medina of Israel, who we know is part of the UN, and we have big questions about, were they mishatef peula with Hamas? Did they allow it to happen? The word shituf, and again, we're just asking the questions. At this point, we're just like anything's on the table, especially when we know that Israel started with, Ben Gurion working with the British, possibly people in his cabinet working with the Nazis. We have a bunch of questions. And this year is just hearing Gemara. So, sometimes like we say a thing or two here about the Sheba. Is like the partnership. They're right. Like this idol is owned by Jeffrey Epstein, a Yid, and Bill Clinton, who was clearly like an Akum, right?
What's the literal translation?
Shutaf is like a roommate. L'shatev is like to get involved, to participate. So let's see what Rashi says. Rashi says, "Shaniza b'yal dusecha shalom b'shal Yisrael." The achshav is Rashi, but now you're saying atashorah lanu b'shal chaveru. But now you're saying that he can cancel his own and his friends. Excuse me. But when you were younger, you said that he can cancel his own and he can cancel the idol that belongs to an Israelite. About Israel, but the inference is that he cannot cancel an Israelite. We thought, right? So he says, what's the difference? No, because when he was younger, he was teaching he was teaching that like if it was like a shared idol between a yid and a guy, an Israelite and an idolater. Amar Rabbi Hillel Berei to Rabbi Wells. Oh no, sorry. So Bialduso Maika Savar, Bizignuso Maika Savar. So what did Rabbi say what did he hold when he was teaching when he was younger? And what about when he teaching when he was older? Bialduso Savar, when he was younger, he thought Yisrael is Adaite de Ove Gochavim Palach. Listen, we know a lot of these yids in America, sometimes even in Israel, a lot of the Jews worldwide, they do things which are idolatries. I don't know, maybe using a smartphone. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit extreme because we could also use a smartphone to give share. So maybe an example I was thinking maybe is like being a Mets fan. Sports is like possibly big time idolatry. Or we could say paying taxes or watching mainstream media or, going to Burning Man or going to a festival where there is like clear idolatry, right? Now, when Rebbe was younger, he said the Israelite is not doing this because he wants to. We're doing it. Let me go see what all the fun is about, right? It's not that the Israelite is really worshiping this idol because he believes in it. He just wants to fit in, So when he was younger, he thought that the Israelite was doing idolatry just because I did have Oved Kochavim, right? I'll become Catholic. I'll become pagan, but I'll sacrifice some kids, drink some adrenochrome. Not because he believes in it. He's like, he's just following the trend, That's what he thought when he was a kid. Ubizik, right? Kevan to Ovi Gorav mevatel. And so when the idolater is mevatel, right? So we're talking about this shared idol between Henry Kissinger and Henry Kissinger and Klaus Schwab. They're sharing an idol, right? Sharing an idol, sharing the baby. I'll take one arm, you take the other arm. It's horrible, but this is what's happening, right? So, Shalom Aleichem, Avi Meiri. We're just talking about a shared idol between Henry Kissinger and Klaus Schwab. And so at the beginning of Rebbe's life, he was like, listen, the Yid aspect of it, he's just doing it because I just want to be like cool and I want to like be involved with Klaus Schwab. And so I'll go halvesies on an idol with him. But he doesn't actually believe in it. That's what Rebbe thought when he was young. And right? And so when the idolater is mevatel, that the idol is mevatel his side of it, his share of the idol, the Israel nami mevatel, and the Israelite side also just automatically gets canceled because the Israelite is only worshiping this idol because he thinks he's so cool. Oh, look at my Mets hat. Oh, look at my hat that says adrenochrome, right? And so, like, they're just trying to be one of the guys. And so if the idolater cancels his half, so the Israelite automatically will also be canceled. And that's why at the beginning he was teaching us this case of the shared idol. But then when he got older, he realized something. When he was older, he realized a truth about the world. Now, everyone here, we believed, everyone here, eventually, when we were kids, we thought the earth was a globe. Then when we got older, we realized how absurd that was. But when we were kids, we thought, right? And then when we get older, it's a classic thing. When we get older, we realize that like some of these hard truths about the world. So when Rabbi got older, he heard Yisrael did the Navje Pala. No. These Israelites, when they're worshiping Avodah Zarah, it's because they love it. They believe in it. Yeah, not Netanyahu, part of the I forgot what it was called. There was the Trilateral Commission, some Sheba thing that Netanyahu was part of. Katoy.
What did you say before the UN?
Yeah.
League of Nations.
Before League of Nations. Oh! Yachad, Shivtei Israel. Okay. Melech Shomea Tevila. Fakta Shiabud. Steig in der Geula. Yeah, you got it, babe. You got it. Talk about Tzadikei Umos Ha'olam over here. You know? There are some Jews that like pass off anyone who's not Jewish or like Chatoy. But in Yeshivas Geulas Shaul, he's a sixth. We have six guy in Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. We're gonna bring a huge korban. They're gonna bring it. We're not gonna even be able to eat it. You know, maybe we'll just burn the whole thing. We have to learn the din. But Grum could just go right out here and Rakevet, just bring a korban. Mitzvah.
Yeshivas Geulas Shaul. What?
Yeshivas Geulas Shaul, what? Yo, Grum. אנחנו לא יודעים בדיוק מתי, אבל יבוא יום בעזרת השם בקרוב, אולי בעוד כמה חודשים, שאתה תקריב לנו קורבן לקדוש ברוך הוא פה. נביא איזה עז או משהו. אמן. All right, now I think we actually might have to do it. I think I might just mechayev ourselves to do it. Okay, bli neder. I don't know if I got that bli neder out fast enough. All right, Yeshivas Geulas Shaul just committed to bring a korban, bli neder. We're gonna try. We gotta figure out the halachas. You know, we gotta figure out the halachas. Yo, what could you imagine? It's like next month. It's like, all right, we're learning Zvachim halachim l'maisa. Okay, so when he was older, he's like, no, the idolatrous Jew, it's not just because he's like following a trend. Idolatrous Jew, it's because he's thirsty for the idol. He wants it. You know, he wants that dirty, disgusting act, you know? He wants to really Rivka, could you please bring me a porty? You know, because I'm down to 20%. We know that the one of the words that we call, like, how do we call idols in Aramaic in the Gemara? Is gilulim, is feces. We call it the word worshiping shit. You know,
Not to be mistaken for Gilgulim.
well,
I don't want Schligs to get excited.
No, because Gilgulim, no, because everyone in Yeshivas Geulas Shaul knows that Shligs loves a good Gilgul. Sefer Gilgulim with a lot of kavod. It's a very respectable thing. It's a great sefer, the Arizal over here. You know, not a small yid, the Arizal, one of our biggest ever. Thank you very much for this porty, Rebbetzin Yida. Okay.
My question is when it says Gilulim, is it referring to
Poop?
But is it referring specifically to Baal Peor?
No, we just call all their idols. Just call them that they're worshiping, right? They're worshiping poop. Poop. Hey, Dad, you know who both Biden and Trump worship? I'll give you a hint. It's a palindrome. Poop. Yeah, palindrome, P-O-O-P.
Yeah, I got that.
All right.
That's a good one.
Yeah. My dad's like, why are you asking me this question? I was like, you're the only one in Yeshiva who votes, so, you know. Listen, you know, we all have to know that, like, first of all, this, by the way, is an amazing thing. Right now, they're trying to cancel people because of things they said when they were kids. Wait a second, the Gemara in Avodah Zarah, says that no, a person can change his mind. It's a raya from Rebbe. Yeah, what about Tshuva? Shiva wants to just use that as the way to like cancel people and take people out and make sure that Norm Macdonald doesn't speak on live TV. Norm Macdonald, rest in peace, be a Melis Yosher. Norm Macdonald gives a comedy share and she was Geulas Shaul once a week.
Dude, that's fire. I'm there every week.
Fire, bro.
That's probably the most packed share.
Oh, am I kidding? It's packed. I remember Akiva's darshaning the there. But Norm Macdonald really puts the tachas in the kisa, you know. So when he was older, he realized no. When the idolatry, when there's a shared korban between an idolater and an Israelite, if the idolater cancels his part, the Israelite's part is still the Israelite still clinging. He really believes. Jeffrey Epstein, real idolater, you know. And all these Lex Wessner, all these idol worshiping Israelites. Okay, so right? There's beziknuzo chazer bo the aval gav sheyesh lo shutfus enu yachol levad Israel. He can't cancel the part of the Israelite. Okay, so that was the first part of our Mishnah. That Rabbi said to his son Rabbi Shimon that an idolater can mevatel his idolatry and of his friends. Wait a second, what about of the Israelite? You taught us when you were a kid that you can mevatel of the Israelite. He says no, it's only when it's a shared idol of the Israelite and the idolater. But then he went back when he got older. He's like, no, even if it's a shared idol, the idolater can't cancel the Israelite part because the Israelite worshiping an idol is real Avodah Zarah. He's really into it. It's very interesting. Like when he got older, he was able to see the world for what it is. Sometimes when we're younger, we're swayed by what our parents tell us, what our teachers tell us, what the media tells us, what Hollywood tells us. Then when we get older, sometimes we're zocha to get free and see the world for what it really is, even if that realization is not always an easy realization to take. They call that the black pill, right? Blue pill, go right. You see how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Welcome to the desert of the real. Red pill, you go back to sleep. Black pill is like it's like a pill that's hard to swallow.
And a lot of times it's the exact opposite. When you take a young person and they question everything and they're so open-minded, and you take somebody that's older, I'm not sure what age, but as they just get more and more conditioned to what they hear, whether it's from the media, from teachers, from, you know.
I hear you. It could,
So the young person has less preconceived notions.
right. I find, by the way, that when you talk about the shiva, you talk about it with like teens or 20-year-olds, right? The younger they are, the more receptive, the less years of propaganda have been piled up.
Exactly.
You know, but we always believe that like a yid could become free, and the human can become free and see the world for what it really is. And we're just hoping that we don't have to go through so much more pain and suffering until people finally realize what's going on. And they stop looking at these things as completely separated events. They say, what? Saying that 9/11 had what to do with the pandemic, had what to do with the Patriot Act, had what to do with the Gaza thing, had what to do with the Crusades, and what to do with the Korban bias. Sometimes too much for people, but everyone at the right time comes to the sugya. Ika demasni la asefa. This idea that Rebbe taught his son, we understood it that it was referring to the first statement of our Mishnah, that an Oved Kochavim can be mevadel avodas kochavim shalo, that he can cancel his idol and of his friends. The second statement is that Israel cannot mevadel the idolatry of an idolater. So he says, Aseifa Demasnis, in the end of our Mishnah, says Rashi. So how would that go? Yisrael eino mevadel avodas kochavim shel Oved Kochavim. So the Israelite cannot cancel the idol of an idolater. Israelite, second he picks it up, it has to be like removed from this earth. Like it can never be canceled evermore. So Amar Rabbi Hillel, it's actually talking about Rabbi Hillel, Berei de Rabbi Vels. Dad, you ever hear of this Tana, Rabbi Wells? You never did. I never did either until this. This is the first time ever seeing this here. Rabbi Wells, Hillel, the son of Rabbi Wells, lo nitzracha. So he said, wait a second. Of course that an Israelite can't cancel the idolatry of an idolater. We learned it from a pasuk. V'sham v'seiser ksev. It says, it says, see you just Tuesday, Israelite. Israelite be trying to mevatel an idol. So Rabbi Wells says, no, we need it. We need this to be taught that an Israelite can't cancel the idolatry of an idolater. For the case, sheyesh lo bashutvos. What if it's an idol that is shared also with, we said Kissinger and also with Schwab, right? Also it belongs to an Israelite, also belongs to an idolater.
10 men.
Perfect. The Kamash Milan, so we learn Yisrael who delom mevatel to oved golavim. We learn from this that an Israelite cannot cancel the idolaters. Ava oved golavim denavje mevatel. An Israelite can't cancel his own, or an Israelite can't cancel the idolater, but the idolater can cancel his own. That's what we learned. Now we're looking at Rashi. Amar Rabbi Hillel lo nitzracha. We don't need it except the chiddush is that if it's shutfus, if it belongs to the Israelite and the idolater, they're sharing this idol in Epstein's Island. You got Ehud Olmert and you got Donald Trump sharing an idol. You know, Jew and non-Jew sharing an idol. So the chiddush is that the Jew cannot cancel the idolater side. Yes.
Meaning, our Havamina was that the Israel cannot be mevatel and Israelites Avodah Zarah as a kavchomer because he cannot be mevatel avoided kavchomer. And so when we're bringing this data, what we're saying is that the question is whether or not the Israelite and can mevatel Avodah Zarah that's owned by both of them.
Very close. Very close. You're saying good? Say better. It's like this. The Mishnah said that an Israelite cannot be mevatel the idolatry of an idolater. Says the Gemara, obviously Israelite can't be mevatel an idolatry of an idolater. Says Rabbi Hillel, son of Rabbi Wells, no, we need it to teach us the case that an Israelite cannot be mevatel even if it's owned half by an idolater, half by his own. There's a big Rashi. See what Rashi says, but that's the chiddush, that if there's shutfus, and we teach this that the Israelite cannot. Then the chiddush is that an Israelite can't be mevatel the idol of an idolater, but an idolater can be mevatel his own idol. But now we have to see, that's how we learned it. But now let's see how the Rashi learned it. Amalei Rabbi Hillel, lo nitzuch el sheyesh lo liYisrael shutfus ba, that the Israelite is a part owner, right? V'ha guva lo istarich lashminan. We don't need to actually teach what they actually taught. Rebbe is intentionally in the Mishnah teaching us something which is obvious, and we'll know. Obviously, you don't need to teach that. Oh, they're coming to teach us the new thing. Rebbe teaches the Mishnah in the most concise way possible. Nami, it's also obvious that he can't cancel the idolatrous part. He can't even cancel his own. But Rebbe wrote it in the Mishnah like this in order to medayik from it, to infer from it, that Yisrael who the Israelite cannot cancel the idolatrous part. But an idolater can cancel his own part. And we do not say what's the Havamina? The Havamina is that maybe since it's impossible to mevatel to cancel the Israelite part of the idol, maybe the idolater can't be mevatel his part of the idol. Kamash Malan, the idolater can be mevatel his part, and so if Chas v'Shalom that Molech idol of the owl in Bohemian Grove belonged half to a Jew, half to a guy, and the guy was mevatel his part, you can take half of that and use it to make bench. That's the chiddush. Ika the mazni le'a brisa. Some people say that this statement of Hillel, son of Rabbi Wells, is going on this brisa. What does the brisa say? Rabbi Shimon ben Menashe Omer says, Avodah Zarah Israel, and idol of an Israelite, ain't lo vatal olamis. It can never be canceled. My olam is, what does that mean that it can never be canceled? Amar Rabbi Hillel, Bereder Rabbi Wells, says Hillel, son of Rabbi Wells, Lo nidra, we don't need Elishi Yeshbo Lo Vedgochavim Pashut. The chiddush that the Israelite thing can never be canceled, like we know that already from the Pasuk B'Sham V'Sezer. So what's the chiddush of this brisa of Rabbi Shimon ben Menashe? The chiddush is that if the idolater is a part owner, you might think that, in this case, since the idolater can cancel his part, maybe the Israelite can cancel his part. Also, Kamash Malan, never. The Kamash Malan, the Israelite, the chiddush is that, listen, the Israelite is not just following the idolater into his idol. When Israelite gets into idol, it's for real. And by the way, Harry, this might have some relevance to the Erev Rav Sugya. We know that there are Israelites in the world, right, that are part of this mass multitude that we're trying to figure out what exactly is. But we see that there's a capable, like you see a Jew, don't be like, he can't be that he's actually worshiping idols. It can't be. It can't be that. The Israel is going to force people to get vaccines. Which is a huge idolatry action. But listen, everyone figures it out at different times. My dad pops up when he hears vaccines. His favorite conversation. Even if the idolater canceled his part, Israel about the part of the Israelite that owns it is not bato. The Israelites not, let me just worship in the das of the idolater. Okay, we're on Daf Nun Gimel Amud Aleph. We have another Mishnah tomorrow. We have, for this parak, which actually is a long parak, but it goes to Samach Aleph. So we got another 8 dafim on this parak. We're staggering da. I don't know what time we'll finish this parak, but Shkayach to the Yidin, 2 5 for 5s in a row. But we're not even paying attention to that because we're doing 2 shurim a day. And so this is 8 out of 10. Which Rivka will be like, that's 4 out of 5. Because she loves math. And she loves reducing fractions. That's like her favorite pastime.
Reduce me.
Reduce me. My dad was an amazing touchdown from my teacher in 11th grade, who used to say, if you give the answer in math class and it's not the smallest possible reduction of fraction, he said, "Do you hear that, guys? The fraction is saying something. Reduce me. Shout out, Mr. Beck. We hope that you are not vaxxed. All my old teachers, thank you for teaching me. But some had more profound influence than others. I had some teachers who were worshiping their druthers of idolatry. Especially the teachers in Shalem. Just kidding. There are a lot of Eligayim there. But definitely some idolaters. But none as idolatrous as God. We know what's really going on there. Today we learned about a koach that a non-Jew has that an Israelite doesn't have. And hopefully we can bring